had much time exploring yet, so today we will take a short trip southward. The river doesn't lead us very far south before we have to go on land again. And soon we are getting closer to the drop spot of the first day, being rather nostalgic after all. Travelled around the entire south map, and after our trip we put the maps on the floor to admire them. I also expanded the close-up home map on the wall so our village can be seen on it. The next day we started the urgent work with the hospital. We have already isolated a few villages underground. A while ago we isolated some sick villagers in their houses, but now they will move down to the hospital to be cured. The magic bread works well. The sick villagers get cured and the already treated villagers make babies. A small hospital building is built to cover up the entrance down to the isolation room. Some villagers are very eager to go downstairs, so we have to make the hospital non-accessible for others than ourselves. To start with, a sign is put up to make everyone know that this is the hospital and they should keep out for the risk of infection. Down in the isolation we have many sick in the hospital beds. A golem took on the duty as a guarding nurse. Most of them will work as traders when they are cured. That will benefit both the inhabitants and us. I talked with some of the villagers, or at least tried to talk, since I still have problems with the language. I understood they asked me to look after the children for a while, so they don't go astray. The children love to go exploring the surroundings of the village, and they find up all kinds of games like tag and jumping on beds. It seemed like they enjoyed having me as a babysitter. I ran around with them in their tag games, and we had so much fun. After the tag game, all kids run to their homes and jump on the beds. The elder told me to go see the fisherman down the dock. He had let him know that he needed some help. The fisherman wants a booth where he can sell his goods to passing visitors. He shows me a spot where he wishes it to be placed, just next to the dock. So now I build a small booth for selling fresh fish. We still struggle with the villagers' strange language. So far we only understand what the elder is saying. The other villagers show with their body language what they mean. I think the elder must have learned the other languages in the older ages when he was able to travel around the world before the invaders came. Before going to bed, I planned tomorrow's chores. Early in the morning, I start building on the chandelier high up in the ceiling in the middle of the map room. I have pillared up and created a platform of dirt so I can walk around under the chandelier while building. The chandelier is hanging on chains that we found in the mine shaft. The structure of the chandelier is made of iron bars, and I put lanterns in a nice pattern so it will light up the entire room. For each level downwards on the chandelier, I have to readjust the dirt platform so I can stay under the chandelier at all times. The finished chandelier is magnificent. I am really happy with it, and it lights up the room just the way I expected it to. Kalam is busy in the tower bedroom and creating a potion station, while I put together a small library. We decided to go down that deep mine again. This time we will search for diamonds and redstone. The diamonds we found so far we have already used up for our tools. Diamond is a much longer lasting material and also increases the efficiency of both tools and weapons. But we need much more to upgrade before we meet stronger and scarier monsters, which I am sure we will. The Black Devil was just a foretaste of what might come. For the tasks that the Elder has requested of us, we have to build several farms. Last week we built the iron farm to be able to deliver all the iron the villagers need for the blacksmiths and tool makers. The coming project is a sugar farm, and we need much more redstone to make it automated. We found quite a bit of diamonds and redstone, mostly around lava pools. That deep mine still delivers. After coming back in the evening, I built a new dock for us. It's better looking and is now aligned with the pathway up to our house. I really love having an alley of cherry trees, but I would rather be able to see the house when I walk up the pathway. So it hurts to cut down these trees, even though I need to do it. It's like most things in life, you can see that it will be necessary to change something drastically, but you hesitate because it's too painful, or you just want to stay in the old comfort of the known circumstances. After working on it for a while, I have all cherry trees cut down and replanted new cherry trees farther out from the pathway. Now it's more open, and the house is visible all the way from the dock at the river, and it opens up for having planters and other things in the garden. We took another trip southward and completed the southwest map and a little beyond. After the trip, Kalam started working on a sugar farm behind the house next to the animal pens. Down here, there was a deep crevice that I had filled up with dirt earlier. We decided to have a sugar farm here, partially underground. But it has to be dug out to make room for several rows of sugar plants. As I've explained earlier, paper is made from sugar canes in this world, and we will need so much more paper than the few sugar plants that grows along the riverside can give. Harvesting sugar along the river is tedious and not so efficient. Some of it falls in the water, and I have to go back collecting those sugar canes after harvesting. Before having the sugar farm automated, we have to harvest it manually, but it's so much easier than by the river. Kalam is now working on installing new villages in the trading hall. A lot of them are cured and eagerly wait to start working. The scholars in the trading hall sell enchanting books and other things. For advertisement, I write on the signs above each trader what kind of books they sell. Enchantments is something we need as well. We sell paper to the scholars for emeralds, and for the emeralds and an empty book that we crafted, we can buy an enchanted book. The enchanted book can then be put on a tool, a weapon or armor to be more efficient or stronger. At the morning meeting next day, the elder is praising us for our progress. He's very happy with the hospital and cured villagers. The rumor of our improvements have spread, and more traders from the surrounding villages have come by to the trading hall. The elder now also makes me understand that the houses in the village are not enough for all children that have been born. They grow up quickly and need houses. So lots of new houses have to be built. I promise that I will start building in the village as soon as I have a chance. First, we need to upgrade our tools to make them longer lasting. All the digging and mining wears them out too quickly. Also, the traders need to be upgraded to sell a more varied selection of goods. To upgrade them, we sell papers to the scholars. Iron is sold to the toolsmith and armorer. Back at the sugar farm, Kalam has now started to build what he calls a flying machine. It's a machine with wings made of slime blocks that will hover over the sugar plants, cutting off any plants that have grown. In the middle of the two slime wings, there will be an engine that moves the wings forward. Testing the flying machine to see it working correctly is the next step before building the underground pickup system. Leaf blocks on top of the gutter with water divide the sugar rows. Now we encapsulate the water itself with leaf blocks so the water doesn't run down the transporting system underneath the entire sugar farm. A wall of leaves around the sugar farm keeps the creepers and other unwanted guests out. Two flying machines next to each other are now working fine, harvesting the sugar little by little. For decoration, I made a darker edging around the natural opening above it all, and the ceiling inside is in white wool. Below, on the side of the farm, Kalam builds a station to receive sugar canes from the transportation system underneath the sugar farm. Two rail cars run on the rails under the sugar farm and pick up the harvested sugar. I put up glow vines all around the room to light it up. They are also used to climb up on top of the sugar farm. At the delivery station, 2 carts will fill up with sugar canes and go all the way to the village to unload them. All this will be automated, so we don't need to run back and forth several times a day. The tunnel stretches under the river and it is finished already, but the rails will continue from the other side of the river to a receiving station in the village center. While Kalam finishes his work, I am building new houses in the village. So far I'm building in the same architecture that already exists, but I'm thinking of making something a bit different for them. It would make the village unique and varied. The villagers are so curious about these new houses, and some of them already moved in before I had the chance to put the roof on. And the golem is curious too. He got stuck inside of this house while I was building, since he's taller than the villagers and can't go through doors. He needs to be outside to protect the villagers. Inside of a house, he's just in the way and does no good. After putting up the roof, I go inside the house and cut out the entrance 1 step so I can push the golem out of the house. For some variation in the village, I built a bigger house for a herbalist. The design is quite different than the other houses. This is a popular building where villagers meet and discuss planting techniques, I guess. In the farmer's house there is room for 2 beds and a dining table. It also has wheat growing on the roof. The old birch forest starts in the northern outskirts. Therefore I thought birch houses would fit better here, even though they look different. But these 2 houses will be the northern edge of the village. The old birch forest is dense and full of creepers and zombies at night. This is a quirky house that would suit a painting artist. Anyone who wants to move in here is welcome though. Kalam rebuilt one of the houses in the town center to be a delivery station for the sugar canes coming from the sugar farm. It is close to the trading hall, which now is fenced in to protect the traders. We also moved the hospital a little, so there is more space in between it and the trading hall. All this week has mostly been about building and constructing. The village is coming about and growing in size, which shows on the map as well. The villagers are healthier and happier, and the elder is almost ecstatic about us turning the dying village to a thriving one. Next week we have to finish all the tasks the elder requested. I'm still so curious to know what the challenge of 9 and the blessing of the sun and moon means. I hope we can figure that out soon. See you next time.